Hey everybody, it's Julie for EllenHudson.com. Welcome to Hello Monday. Today I'm making this adorable interactive card featuring the Space Out stamp set by Brandy Kincaid. Look at my rocket, it's got some wiggle action. That's thanks to the action wobbler. And I wanted to speed it up, and I decided instead of blending my background onto white cardstock, I'm going to work with colored cardstock. So this is a really nice shortcut when you want to have a blended background, but you're kind of like, oh, I don't want this card to take too long. So I've grabbed some Robin's Egg Blue and some Daydream Catherine Pooler ink, and I've grabbed the largest ink blending brush. And one of the great things about these brushes is when I want to get a really nice, soft, delicate blending of a shade like that, I can hang on to the handle. But if I want to intensify it, I can grab the head of the brush and intensify and be heavier handed to get a darker concentration of ink blended on there. But I love those brushes. They've changed blending for me completely. Now I've taken the Essentials by Ellen oval set and I die cut a partial oval from a panel of Marshmallow Chick card shop. And I'm going to take another small blending brush and my orange twist ink pad. And I just want to blend along the top edge there. And this is going to give my planet or moon or whatever you want to call it, my asteroid, a little bit of depth and dimension by giving that shading there. And then I took a smaller oval and die cut an opening. And this is going to be a little crater. I'm going to have one of my little aliens popping up out of this crater. And so to give that some dimension and interest, I also took that brush and whatever ink was left on it, I just kind of swirled that around the opening and the ink transferred to the edges. So it's just going to give it a little bit more depth and dimension. Now I mounted this panel to an A2 card front after I trimmed it down 1/4 of an inch. So I'd have a 1/8 inch matte layer. And then I realized, oh no, I forgot to put this on and trim it down. So I'm just positioning it here on top of the card, and then I'm going to cheat a little bit by using my thumbnail to just mark that spot. And then I can go ahead and grab my paper trimmer. You could use a pencil, but I didn't have one within reach. So I just like, okay, thumbnail it is. So now I've got a piece of yellow cardstock. This is just a scrap, and I sponged or blended some of that orange twist ink on the top of that. And I'm just going to use it with some foam mounting tape to kind of cap off the back of my crater there. It's going to give some shading and depth to that area. And then I'm going to pop that whole thing up on the front of my card. You can see now it's perfectly trimmed to match the sky background that I've made there. I love that effect where it's brighter down below and then it gets darker towards the top of the card. Now I took all the images from the Space Out set that I wanted to work with and I stamped them with Gina K's amalgam black ink, and then I colored them all with Copic markers. And then I'm just going to start adding a little bit of foam tape here to the back of my little alien who's going to be popping up out of the crater. And then the little minty guy is going to get mounted to the inside window of the rocket ship. So I just kind of wanted to make sure his angle, he was at the right angle. This is going to be soaring over the planetoid. And then I also wanted to get the flames boosting out of the rock, or is that what they call them? Is it boosters? That I think they're called boosters. So I'm going to glue that to the back there with some tape runner. And then I realized I needed a sentiment. So I'm going to fold the whole thing and pop it into my mini Misty because I should have pre-planned this and thought about this ahead of time, but I didn't. So I'm winging it. And I'm going to ink up with some black ink and stamp it. Now I'm going to stamp gently because this is a popped up layer and I don't want to mash into where maybe I don't have enough foam tape to support it. So I stamped it once gently and then I could re-ink and stamp it a second time and get a darker contrast of that black ink. So now it's time to mount my rocket ship, and I've grabbed one of the larger size action wobblers, but it's a little bit too big for where I want to mount it and it's going to show through the window. So I took my scissors and I trimmed off the thinner end that's going to get mounted to the back of my rocket. And then I'm like, okay, I'm good to go. And then I went, oops, I need to trim off the hard plastic part too. So I grabbed my Tim Holtz scissors because that's pretty thick plastic. It's hard to cut through. So I grabbed those Tim Holtz scissors that have the serrated blades, and those just plowed right through that heavy duty plastic there, no sweat. So I've got that mounted to the back, just going to press firmly, make sure it's on there, and just going to go ahead and peel the backing off and get it mounted to my card front. Now once these get glued down, they're pretty much on there. They're hard to get off. without destroying the whole card front. So make sure you got it where you want it. And there I added some stickles to enhance it and some glossy accents there just to highlight certain parts of it. I didn't want to cover everything. And I added some of those starry sequins. And there you can see my wobble action going on. This is such a fun card. Any kid would have a ball with this. And I hope you'll give the ink blending on your colored cardstock a try when you need to speed up making your backgrounds. Thanks for watching.